My name is Julie Corbally and I'm 66 next month. I have 2 daughters, they're both married with children, so I have 3 grandchildren. And I live with my partner in a village called North Duffield in the UK, which is in England, in the north of England, in Yorkshire. Last year, over 2021, I had a number of urine infections followed by a really bad cold virus, which resulted in weeks and weeks of coughing and coughing. And then I noticed that I had urge incontinence. I needed to go to the toilet all the time. I had the heaviness and like a dragging sensation. And when I was walking, I got like a nipping pain. It wasn't really bad, but then I got a vaginal discharge, which worried me. So I decided I needed to go and see my general practitioner. And after an examination, she said I had a pelvic organ prolapse. And that is when I decided, well, I asked her, what do we do about that? And she recommended using a pessary, inserting a pessary. Now, I didn't want that to happen. I just instinctively didn't want that. So I came away and started to look on the internet for other solutions. And that's when I found you. I think there would have been around maybe an 8, 7, 8. Fortunately, I didn't have a lot of pain, but the dragging and the heaviness and the nipping and the urge to pee all the time was very tiring, and it just made me feel very lethargic and miserable. The emotional symptoms, I think, were just this feeling that I was angry at myself, because I think years and years ago, I knew I had some kind of pelvic floor dysfunction, but I ignored it. It wasn't really impacting on my daily life. I seemed to be getting on. In fact, it felt like it'd always been like that. But I think deep down I knew that I had some kind of dysfunction there, but it took this illness and all these illnesses closely together to make me realise that. And so when I found out that it was diagnosed and I could actually see the bulge as well, I just was really angry with myself, and that made me feel, don't know how to explain it really, just not self-loathing, that's too much, but really disappointed in myself that I hadn't actually taken control of it a lot earlier. I knew what it was, but I didn't really know the detail. I didn't know that there were different kinds or that you could have more than one. I've worked in the NHS for 19 years, but not in a clinical role. I was in non-clinical. So I think I've been aware of that, and I worked with community nurses and midwives, and so I was aware of it, but I didn't know the detail. And we never talked about it at home. I don't think my mother ever spoke to me about it when she was alive. No. I mean, I launched into the exercises, doing the 10-15 minutes every morning when I could. And I wasn't feeling anything. I just wasn't feeling anything. It was like it was completely disconnected from me, despite me trying to follow the guidance of the teachers, the practitioner. But then I had a look at another part of the website and relaxing the pelvic floor. And I thought, oh, that sounds sensible. So I drifted into that for a day or two. And then after about a week of doing that and concentrating on relaxing, even when I was out walking my dog in the mornings, I can remember feeling like I was clenching and holding my belly in and my glute muscles tight, thinking that I was helping the dysfunction. And actually, it wasn't helping at all. So when I got over that and started to relax, that's when I started to feel something, when I did the exercises. And I think it was at that point that I thought, oh, now then, I think these exercises I'm starting to feel the effects. And so I know that if you exercise a muscle, you can get stronger. So it started to add up. Yeah. actually all of those motivational links you sent about believing you can heal yourself, the science behind that, and the meditation, the healing meditations, the visualizations, really appeals to me, does that kind of thing. And I did think that that did lift my level of belief, and I have to remember to keep returning to those. In fact, I even bought one of the books about believing that you are the placebo, because it makes sense, doesn't it? Bodies heal, so why can't we control that healing? I don't have the urge incontinence anymore, which is great. It means I can stay out on my feet longer. I can walk my dog without looking round for where I can relieve myself, which is, it's just so life limiting, isn't it? The heaviness went away, and also the nipping, that I didn't get that nipping pain anymore. Yeah, the dropping sensation went away. I occasionally still get a little bit of the awareness of the prolapse, but it's not that tired, dragging feeling that I had previous to the 12-week program. It's just like my self-esteem, which I didn't think was in bad condition really, but I had a tendency to a bit of melancholy and regret and things, and I've just changed. I'm happier, I just get on with things, and I feel brighter and more confident. I feel much better. Firstly, just a huge amount of understanding and learning about my own body and how it works, and the effects of the hyperpressive exercises, and then the fascia. Oh my goodness, yeah, absolutely amazing. It's all the knowledge and learning. I can't say that too often. So much knowledge and learning, and the ability now to work at making it better, making my condition better. Well, in addition to the learning and the knowledge, the check-ins were really good, even though I couldn't do them face to face or verbally. I appreciated that a lot. It keeps you focused, doesn't it? It did for me. And those personally recorded videos that you sent as well, when I think you could tell from what I was writing to you that I just needed a little bit of a lift, or some reassurance, and I felt listened to and cared about, and that was important. And knowing that I could ask you anything as well, although I didn't often feel the need to. Yeah, and the other thing was, I just think that the quality of the courses that you've got available, really high quality and well done, and easy to follow, and structured, so that you start slow and then you build. And I thought that was really, really good. And then of course also I appreciated being able to do it from my own home and not have to commit to going anywhere, and I could do it at a time that suited me. I have actually described it to my friends. I think I tell them that it's like a central hub of guided exercises and other methods, and it's targeted to alleviate pelvic floor dysfunction, and that the trainers and practitioners are nearly all people who have been through the same thing and healed themselves, and that it guides you through the courses and checks in with you weekly, offering support as much or as little as you need, and you decide when to do these things and where, in your own home. That's what I say. I have to put it at a 9 today. I mean, it's not gone away, but it doesn't impact on me. My mood is brighter, and I know that the programme has been responsible for that. 90% of that is down to the programme and making me feel more confident and brighter. So no matter what your age, there's so much on offer round the core of the hyperpressive exercises, that you'll learn so much about your condition and how to heal naturally I hadn't heard of some of the supplementary methods, but I've tried some of them and liked most of them. That the programme explains the myths and taboos that we've lived with for generations around pelvic floor dysfunction and women's problems, and that I would say it will result in improvements to your physical and your mental well-being. It certainly has for me. And I've started feeling stronger. My arms and legs and whole body is stronger, because I couldn't manage the arm exercises at one point because I'd had an injury moving house, and that still isn't fully better yet, but I'm definitely stronger. And so I'll give it 10 to 15 minutes, and then I might do one of the other methods, like the belly dance inspired program, or the relaxation for another 10 minutes. And then I go on and have breakfast and go out with the dog and get on with life, with the day. I think it's teaching me to look after myself. I don't know how you can get 66 years without knowing how to look after yourself, but it's more about putting yourself first for a change, just for a small part of the week, which I've tended not to do. You know, the kids come first, partner comes first, even the dog comes first. We need to believe that we're worth this, that 10, 15 minutes every day, we're worth it, as the advert says. I don't know if you get the advert in Sweden. So I'm really hopeful for the future, and I just congratulate you on this journey you've been on with your colleagues and you and your partner, your husband, and just thanks for going there and sharing it all.